Congressman King, first of all, it's an honor to meet you this morning, and especially to be here for this conference. You may recall telling me about this down at CPAC and about your intent to increase transparency through primary states. And that's why I said I'm in.
Yes, I remember that now. Thank you. Things are going a little fast for me this morning.
I was there with just from New Hampshire perspective. So this morning I'm unofficially representing Granite Rock, the New Hampshire blog site, but I'm also here for myself out of interest. So please tell me a little bit about this conference, why you're doing it, and what your overall aims are for this season and how you hope to shape the outcomes.
Well, the idea generated back last January. We started to conclude that there wasn't enough activity with the Iowa caucuses weren't jump-started. So we looked on the calendar and what would be the date that we'd have to make real sure that they're jump-started. Well, March 26th looked like a good day. Well, that's today. And so we invited the presidential candidates in and brought other good conservative activists and speakers together. And the idea is this, to lay the foundation for the debate that moves us forward to a First in the Nation caucus, a First in the Nation primary, and then also South Carolina, a very significant state that by the time the candidates get past South Carolina, the die is very well cast for who the nominee will be. And I have noticed over past presidential races that the candidates here in Iowa would speak to the issues in Iowa. Then they would go to New Hampshire and speak to the issues in New Hampshire. Then they go to South Carolina and do the same thing and eat some grits, which is fine. But it didn't tie them together. And I want a consistency. I'm looking for the nomination of a full spectrum conservative that believes in our Constitution, that has a vision for America's destiny, that has a consistent approach to that in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and beyond.
Right, and you'll see that New Hampshire, having experienced a few too many years of Democrats, has gone heavily constitutional with its legislature and Senate recently. And I'm very pleased to see that. I am certainly very much in favor of someone who honors the Constitution.
Yes, and I made a trip into New Hampshire not that long ago, and I find a lot of commonalities between Granite Staters and Hawkeye Staters. We believe in a lot of the same things. I just think that, I always say I'm happy to swap state mottos with New Hampshire, so would any other state for that matter. But I have the New Hampshire state motto on my wall in my office. That's what it means to me, and it came directly from New Hampshire, as Jeff Chittister, as you know.
And you probably got the bobblehead dog for General Stark as well.
That as well.
Yeah, great. So, could we perhaps say that part of what you're trying to achieve is to make sure they don't pull the wool over our eyes, but they don't promise no ethanol in New Hampshire, and I'm all for corn subsidies in Iowa?
Well, that'd be one way to look at it, and then part of it is not so much something that would be opposite positions on the same issue as it is the emphasis. As I watch candidates, they might come in with 50 different ideas, and as they roll them out, they will watch the response of people, and if they get a strong response, they will emphasize that issue. And if people go to sleep on it, they'll drop it off. And that is partly how our priorities are set. So I want to see that happen too. I want them to be able to polish their agenda, and I want the voices of the activists to be heard, and I want them also to be able to build organization, access to activists, and then the activists access to the candidates. That's part of what we're doing here today. Get it as face-to-face as we can. And some of these candidates will come out of here with recruits that will work on their campaign for the duration and maybe end up working in the White House.
Yeah. That is terrific. So that is really, in other words, it's a good road up for the activists as well as the outreach for the candidates. That is absolutely terrific strategy. And then, of course, we're focused on constitutionally conservative principles here.
And I'll open up this conference in a few minutes. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about is American exceptionalism and the underpinnings of American exceptionalism. And that is the subject of everything in this conference today, the underpinnings of American exceptionalism. And I think that if our culture absorbs again those foundations, then we'll understand what are those pillars of exceptionalism, how to refurbish them, how to protect them, and we'll also know when they're under assault, and the left has been assaulting the pillars of American exceptionalism for a long time, and we've got to defend them and refurbish them.
John Wright, so let me say a couple of words about how I got where I am. So, I came here and I thought that American exceptionalism was a bit like Texas braggadocio, with just Americans being too big for their boots. I learned very rapidly, during my time in this country, that the underpinning of American exceptionalism is, in fact, the Constitution, the free market and basically our structures of government, which is responsible to the people rather than the other way around. And that is why I joined the fight and why I greatly appreciate what you're doing.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. That idea is something you can use the phrase American exceptionalism, and maybe it says something to people in other countries that haven't lived in the middle of it or didn't have the viewpoint that you had. But I would point out that it was a Frenchman that first coined the term.
Indeed, the top I presume.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. And indeed, he was one of the early students of how America became what it is and why other countries should emulate it. And if we exported nothing else, we should export our Constitution. I think that's one of the best documents in the world.
Yes, and I signed and autographed the Constitution and handed it to the Chief Justice of the Red Chinese Supreme Court here a few years ago, which is an ironic thing. I don't expect that he read it, but I wanted it in his possession anyway.
Well, it's better than you carrying the middle of now.
Yeah.
As some of our current governments appear to do.
Well, if that were in my jacket pocket, you could be confident it's opposition research. No J. Hostum would be my motto, but I don't think I'd get caught with it.
Fine. One last question for you before we let you get on with your very busy day. What do you think defines the perfect presidential candidate, and do you think it is better for a clear, visionary candidate to have a platform out now so that we can see what he's about, or they should still be forming that platform?
Well, in the ideal world, our best leaders have already analyzed these circumstances that we're in and proposed solutions. And they should bring those solutions out over here today and other places and market those solutions to the American people. And in practice, it doesn't quite work that way, because whatever they think for solutions may not necessarily be something that's marketable. And so it's too bad that it isn't idealistically pure. In my perfect world, it would be a candidate who stepped forward and said, here is where I am. This is what I would do with economics. This is what I do with national defense. This is what I would do with family. This is how I refurbish the Constitution. This is what I do for energy. And this is what I do about the millions of people who aren't producing in this country that are living in a welfare state. To hear all the solutions to that, but it doesn't happen that way. Instead, they come forward and they say, I want to listen to you. I have these ideas. What do you think of them? And it's a conversation that evolves into an approach that becomes a platform.
Which is interesting. So I've noticed that there is one candidate who has the equivalent of a platform document called, I think, Common Sense Solutions or something, if I've got the name of it correct. And I'm thinking he's pretty much on the money. So I don't know whether you know what I'm thinking about there. I won't put words in your mouth. But I'm very much in favor of a candidate who's got a clear vision, and I think one of them at least is standing up and saying that. There are a bunch of them making good conservative noises, but there's one that's got a platform.
And
that would be Tony Kennedy.
And I have not read through all of that, but I can tell you that when Herman speaks, at first he's entertaining, he's engaging, and he and I come down very closely on all those issues. So I'm looking forward to Herman here today. He's a real star in the American scene.
He's a treat. We love it when he comes in Hampshire. And that's probably about wraps it up, except to say I believe you would consider Jim DeMate to be a partner in crime in terms of the things that you're doing both in Congress and around the country, and I'm looking very much forward to this speech today too.
I am too. I would be here if I were in the program or if I were in the audience today. This conference would attract me from whatever I was doing to be down here to be engaged in it. And I think we'll see a lot of people come in this hotel today, and we will have an engaging time, and hopefully we're laying the foundation for binding together the full spectrum constitutional conservatives from Iowa to New Hampshire to South Carolina, Nevada, Michigan, Florida, and beyond. And laying the foundation for, if it doesn't all work perfectly this time, we'll have another bite at this in 4 years. But then we'll be just looking to re-elect our constitutionally conservative president, who will, I hope, sign the next president on January 20th of 2013 is Inauguration Day. And I want that president to sign the repeal of Obamacare right there on the west portico of the Capitol, right after he takes the oath of office.
That would be perfect. Now, you know there's one candidate who actually handed the End of an Era t-shirt and actually wore it at a meeting. You
No.
might, no? Ask him. You can guess which one it might be.
Well, I think I better not guess, but it's the end of an era.
The end of an era. And one of our candidates actually was presented with that T-shirt, and we put it right on in a meeting in one of the homes in New Hampshire.
Well, in New Hampshire, people are really good on symbolism. And I appreciate symbolism, those things that send a statement that's usually louder and more effective than the words that you can put together. So,
Okay, well, thank you so much, Congressman. Thank you for putting this on. Thank you for your work for conservatives everywhere. And we look forward to seeing you in New Hampshire again soon.
I do too. I appreciate you being here to cover this and participate and enjoy this conference. And I expect that we will see each other in New Hampshire soon.
Whether you're running for president or whether you're just helping shape the race, which is what I think you're doing, I thank you for it.
Thank you very much. It's a great privilege.
Great
Thanks,
privilege to
Michael.
talk to you.